Today, I'll show you how to organize your travel photos into albums using Google Photos. This is perfect for anyone who has photos piling up on their phone but hasn't been able to organize them. First, we'll go over the overall flow, and then we'll walk through the actual steps together on the screen.
Where's that photo from back then? You know, if you're anything like me, you've probably muttered that exact phrase way more times than you'd like to admit. You're just trying to show a friend a specific memory from a trip, and suddenly you're lost. You're lost in this sea of endless scrolling, swiping up and swiping up again, feeling completely exhausted before you even find what you're looking for. It's a completely universal struggle, but hey, it absolutely doesn't have to be your reality anymore.
So welcome to this explainer. Today, we are finally going to fix that digital clutter once and for all. We're diving into a really cool, highly effective strategy from Shinji, a creator based out in Chiang Mai, who uses location data to manage massive amounts of travel memories. Get ready, because this is going to totally streamline how you manage your digital life.
And look, we aren't going to waste your time with a long, drawn-out introduction today. We are jumping right into 3 simple, highly actionable tricks that will instantly transform your chaotic camera roll into a perfectly organized archive.
Okay, first up, the app migration, fleeing the clutter. Let's get into it.
Now you might be wondering, why on earth did Shinji completely abandon the native iPhone Photos app? I mean, the iPhone has a map feature, right? Well, yeah, but it can be really clunky. Moving this whole workflow over to Google Photos solves the core problem perfectly. You see, human brains are wired for spatial memory, not chronological timelines. When we rely on endless vertical scrolling, our memory just fails us. But Google Photos integrates that highly visual, super familiar Google Maps interface. You're essentially trading chronological guesswork for spatial memory, which makes way more sense for our brains.
So the bottom line is mastering literally just these 3 simple techniques is going to save you hours of digital hoarding headaches. Let's break them down.
All right, trick 1, the brute force speed of text search.
This is your absolute go-to move when you know exactly what destination you're looking for. If you know for a fact that you are in a specific city, like say Chiang Mai or Macau, don't even bother scrolling the map. Seriously, just tap the magnifying glass, type in the location name, and boom. You bypass the timeline entirely and get this neat, clean grid of just the photos from that specific place. It's just pure brute force efficiency.
Moving right along to trick 2, the intuitive magic of map search.
What was the name of that restaurant again? Come on, we've all been there, right? You're reminiscing about a trip months later, thinking about this spectacular meal, but the name of the restaurant has just completely vanished from your brain. When that happens, traditional text searching is basically useless because you literally don't have the words to search for.
But here is where the map integration absolutely shines. Just tap Collections at the bottom of the app, then tap Places. A world map pops up, ready for you to pinch, zoom, and drag right over to that exact neighborhood. As you zoom in, these distinct little round photo icons pop up. Tap them and your photos populate right below. It is incredibly intuitive because you navigate by visual memory. Just thinking, I know I walked down that street, is literally all you need to find it.
Which brings us to trick 3, date-based bulk selection.
Okay, so you've found your photos using the map, which is great, but nobody wants to sit there and tap them one by one, right? It takes forever, and honestly, your thumb gets tired. Instead, you use the sidebar to scroll rapidly right to the date of your trip. Right next to that date, there is this tiny little check mark. Tap that check mark, and instantly, in a fraction of a second, every single photo from that entire day is selected. From there, actually, it's so much faster to just uncheck the few blurry or duplicate photos you don't want, rather than individually tapping the dozens of photos you do want. It's a total game changer.
And I think this perfectly highlights why these features matter so much. As Shinji points out, this specific workflow removes all that tedious friction. It literally turns album making into a fun reminiscence time. It takes what usually feels like this dreaded, awful digital chore and actually transforms it into a joyful trip down memory lane. When your tools actually work with you instead of against you, you finally get to enjoy looking at your photos again.
And that leads us to our final section, the emotional payoff, collaborative sharing.
Because let's be real, getting organized isn't just for you, it's really about sharing those epic memories with your travel buddies so you can relive the experience together. Here's how you do it, effortlessly no matter what phones your friends use. Open the Share menu on your newly created album and tap Get Link.
You can then paste that copied URL directly into a messaging app like Line to send to the group chat. But wait, here is the absolutely crucial step. Make sure you toggle collaborative editing to on. This means even if your friends are hardcore iPhone users, they can seamlessly access that Google Photos album via the link and upload their own pictures from the trip. You basically end up with one beautifully unified master album for the whole group.
So, just to recap this whole explainer for you, remember this simple little formula. For pure speed to places you know, use text search. For those forgotten spots, explore visually with map search. And to compile those albums instantly, rely on date selection.
Guys, your memories are waiting. They're just sitting there, buried way down in the digital depths of your phone, waiting to be seen again. So I'm challenging you. Open your camera roll right now, apply these 3 simple tricks, and go rescue a forgotten trip from the clutter. Which amazing adventure are you going to rediscover today? Thanks so much for diving into this explainer with me, and hey, happy organizing.
How is that? Now let's go through the same steps together using the actual screen. Hi there, I'm Shinji, living in Chiang Mai. Do you have travel photos piling up on your phone? Searching for that one photo? Oh, now where did that go? It's exhausting, and you just end up leaving everything as is. Sound familiar? Today, I'm going to share the ultimate album creation technique using maps, the very reason I switched from the iPhone Photos app to Google Photos. Actually, I used to use an iPhone. The iPhone Photos app does have a map feature, but honestly, I found the map a bit hard to read and rarely used it. With Google Photos, however, your photos are displayed right on top of Google Maps, which everyone is already familiar with. That familiarity makes it incredibly useful. You can find photos just by remembering, I walked down that street. That's it. Ever since I discovered this feature of displaying Google Maps in Google Photos, I just can't give it up. Today, I'll introduce 3 handy techniques to make the most of it.
First, technique number 1, the fastest method when you already know the place you're looking for. For example, if you know the specific name of a location, like Chiang Mai or Macau, it's much faster to type it in than to scroll around the map. It's simple. Just tap the search icon in the bottom right or the magnifying glass at the top and type in the place name. And just like that, all the photos from that trip appear instantly. When you're in a hurry to find a photo, this text search is the way to go.
Next up is the feature I recommend the most, finding photos intuitively using the map. You know how you sometimes forget the name of a restaurant or shop when you're traveling? With this method, that's no problem at all. First, tap Collections at the bottom of the screen. You'll see an option called Places. Select that. A world map will appear, and locations where you have photos will show up as round icons. You can either tap one of those icons or pinch and zoom into the map with your finger, just like the orange arrow on screen. Move the round icons to the area you're looking for. And look, only the photos from that zoomed-in area appear in a list below. Oh, right, that restaurant was so good. You can search purely from your memory of a place, which makes building albums a lot of fun. Once you've found your photos, it's time to turn them into an album. But selecting them one by one is a real pain, isn't it? That's where technique number 3 comes in, selecting all photos by date at once. First, drag the bar on the edge of the screen to quickly jump to the date of your trip. And here's the key part. See that small check mark right next to the date? Tap that, and just like that, every photo from that day is selected all at once. After that, you just deselect any photos you don't need. This makes building an album dramatically faster. Finally, let me show you how to share an album with friends you traveled with. The easiest way is to send a link, and the great thing is, this works even if your friend is on an iPhone. Just select Get Link from the Share menu, then paste the copied URL into Line and send it. One thing to remember, make sure to turn on Collaborative in the options. With that enabled, Your friends can also add photos from their own phones, so everyone can build one shared album together. So, how was that? Text search when you're in a hurry, map search when you want to enjoy the journey, and date selection when it's time to choose. Master these 3 techniques, and what used to be a chore turns into a fun trip down memory lane. Give it a try. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.